The United Nations Secretary General Antonio has hailed India as the ideal host for the AI Impact Summit 2026, calling India a successful emerging economy with growing influence in global affairs. The summit set to bring together world leaders, tech innovators and policymakers.
The third intervention was, of course, where we touch every citizen across the country is UIDI, where the place names are transliterated and other names are translated.
Hello?
There is a unique challenge of number of places which are available. That is the digital dictionary of the place which is available in the system is actually very limited. When we digitized the panchayat, we had 270,000 panchayat names brought to the digital system because those were also not available. Now we have the second challenge is that the actual number of names of places which the Survey of India has is approximately 16 lakhs to 18 lakhs. And currently those are not in the digital setup. And so we have to bring that back, and hence we are working with Survey of India. And then again, those places have to be on the local dialect because those places are known from a local dialect, the way the people speak there. And the idea of creating that particular database is to perhaps a person go there, that's what Survey of India would be doing, is a person go there, it is geo-fenced, and then we ask someone from that particular location to actually speak out the names. And that gets translated, through automatic speech recognition, that gets translated and put into the database. So, why I gave this example is basically reflect upon that, if we are wanting to build a large system, the value chain starts from the field at the last mile. And the value chain of AI, which is basically related to data collection, then annotation and labeling, then it goes to model building, then you are vetting, and then you are using it in application and then coming back to a feedback loop. So this is the AI value chain. And then you have the community which is basically involved, or the user who is involved in the bill. If we start doing that evaluation sitting at any of our metros, the evaluation would be very different, right? So we will be starting to discuss whether biology should be represented as Chief Shastri in Hindi, or biology should be biology there. So that is the debate which we will have if we are doing that in Delhi. I was basically doing a speech-to-speech demonstration in Gujarat, and I had the privilege of having Honorable Minister of IT there listening to that. And then obviously there were other officers there. I wouldn't like to name for the sake of this thing. The officers had an impression that this was about 80 to 85% correct, while as the Honorable Minister said that it's so pure that I have started learning Gujarati. So I'm basically again trying to say that the perception of people would differ when you are trying to evaluate that. Some people think that, oh, the machine is doing so much, let's go with it. Some people will say that, no, it's not, still at that level, so don't go with it. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm taking the community feedback. I'm not.
Even the translation was 80%.
Yeah. Well, the officer said it is 80%. The other people said, the minister said that it's too good to be true. That's the way it is. Now, again, the fact comes across that when you are doing all of this and deploying all these use cases and working on this, it is at the end of the day, the system is as good as the users say, the people say. And if this people, it is not necessary that we should be looking if some of our people went to Akaru, in Andhra Pradesh, and to demonstrate the product, and actually Honorable CM wanted us to do that, Because there are only
The way is not just regulation, because I think we should not just focus on regulatory frameworks. We should really think about what measurable trust means so that AI can work for everybody. And that basically spans not only thinking about how India has an opportunity to create very sector-specific standards, but also the ability to create contextual large language models rather than just large language models, which, by the way, won't work for India. And I think I think at India have such a unique opportunity to lead the global stage with the focus on context as well as focus on measurable trust.
So there's one other issue that's come up often, I think, which is really about education. And there are people on this panel, of course, who are working, building partnerships around really skilling from the ground up India's, obviously, young population. So Santosh, if I can come to you for this question that I've been holding on to, which I think is really important, right? In this context of ensuring that India goes up the value chain, right, from being a consumer to a creator, how are you thinking about skilling and education and talent development? We've heard often on this panel is we need to start thinking less about operating and more about building. What does that mean from a skilling and an education point of view?
Yeah, so if I have to step back and see what was the biggest benefit that UPI gave us was not just enabling transactions, it really enabled a lot of small businesses, small sectors to start to come into this economy and participate in this economy in a meaningful way, right? So you had a technology that was applied in solving payment problems or payment transaction problems. It aided to building finances, it aided to getting capital, it aided to data benefiting them, right? The same way, we got to go and say, AI just does not become a tool where we're just chatting with it or engaging with it. That's one aspect of it. But how can it go back and change fundamental ways in which we do things in this society, right? Education is one of those sectors. It's 200-year-old system that has been built. It is built for the industrial age, and I think it's slowly adapting to the information age. So we have this amazing ability to go back and rethink the way education needs to be done, where it's not a one-way flow, it's not a fixed curriculum flow, it's a flow where a student truly learns in its own way, in a way that best benefits their own skills, right? So that, I think, is an absolutely amazing opportunity where AI can really go fuel a change in the whole system. And I know that this is a touchy topic, right? If you go and talk about the education system, there's so much goodness of the education system because it created people like me and everybody else around the world. But I also think that this is the moment where it can definitely go and change and start to think of skills in a very different way.
Yeah, thanks, Santosh. Suresh?
Education is something that the government is at the moment contemplating as to how to go about it. And we'll be looking at ideas in the sense of, it's not only inculcating it in the curriculum, because you have to do it now. And if you don't, you're going to miss the bus because the next 5-10 years, you might be a leader at the moment. India might be at the cutting edge at the moment. But if we don't gear up for the future, we'll be left out. And our new young people will not be that capable enough to handle what's evolving in this sector. So that's one area of concern. But it's not only about inculcating it in a curriculum or taking it as a subject. It's about the holistic 600 million people who are young, the demographics of India. They all need to be educated in whatever form they need to, starting from schools to higher universities to people who are venturing out in the tech world. So this issue is of critical importance, and I think we need some outcomes on this as to how to go about it to ensure that we maintain the edge and our future workforces are ready to handle what lies in store for them. So I think I'll have to move to the next thing, but I wish you all the best and hope this discussion continues. I'm looking forward for the outcomes and so that we formulate the policies way ahead, for the way ahead, and we see some concrete outcomes from this. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Can I request one photograph?
Yeah.